Oh, this is Shane? Shane? Has Shane never been in a battle? Oh. Sample usage, mix, harmony, groove, creativity, artist friendly.
So first thing I did was lay down a couple drum loops, and basically what I did was I took two different drum loops and I stacked them on top of each other. Had one completely on the grid and one that I nudged to the right. It created this interesting cadence that I really liked. So that's what it sounds like off the grid versus what it would have sounded like if I had left it. To me, that little difference was enough to, add some swing to it, made it feel a little bouncier, made it feel a little more alive. Here is just some high-end perks. This is just a hi-hat loop that I threw in. I don't even think I quantized this to the actual tempo of the beat. I think I just threw it in and just played around with it a little bit, and the way that it sounds like completely off was really interesting to me, so I decided to just leave that in. But what really helped ground it together was the kick and snare that I added on top of those. I think this is a count kick. I can't remember. This one is from Fully Surfing's kit. I really like this one a lot. I actually couldn't decide which kick that I preferred and ended up running out of time, so I just accidentally left both of them in there. Yeah, I started my beat like an hour late, so. And then this snare is from Kalen Ellis. Without the kick and the snare versus with it, it totally changed how it sounds. So now suddenly there's this driving force between the kick and snare, and then the percussion just adds on top of it. After I laid down the drums, I threw on the sample, which is this part that I took is the little sicko mode transition. And then I just pitched it up and down to this melody. After that, I took in a trillion bass and I threw some Archetype on it. I added a wah pedal to it, and I EQ'd out some of the lows and put on a sample delay, which basically spread it out across the mix. And this is what it sounds like. I really like the sound of bass chords in general, so I thought it would be cool to like tweak it and make it something a little more unique. I did the same thing with the actual bass that I laid down. On this end, I have some chorus. I spread it out just a little bit, and I threw on some FabFilter Saturn. This is just a saturator. After I did that, I threw some Rhodes in. I played this in Omnisphere in a keyscape patch, just some Rhodes. Just threw just a little bit of tremolo on it. After I did that, I added some piano notes just as some accents. And some chords as well. After I did that, I put in a little bit of strings from this plugin called Philharmonik 2. Really cool sound library for strings, and I use it a lot. So I have like some tremolos from the violin and some cellos, just to add some more, just more interesting stuff to the beat. Yeah, I didn't really know how to end it, so I just played it out on the keys a little bit. Got some swells in here. Just to give some dynamic range to it. To match the piano, I threw in a little bit of Glock in there too, just to give it some more texture. Some cool little things in between. And then to add a little bit more dynamic motion to the beat, I threw in this synth patch from Omnisphere. It's based off of the Juno synth sound. Messed around with some pitch bend as I was playing it. Messed with the transients a little bit, and that's how it sounded. After that, I threw in some vocal samples that I got from the Splice. It's just this one little so one pitched up an octave and one pitched down. I really like the breaths in between. I think it added some more percussive elements to it as well, to the track as a whole. Just little things to add some soundscaping, I guess. One thing that I really paid attention to specifically in this, and that I try to do in general, is that whenever I play keys, I try to really be intentional with my dynamics and things like that. I think that, keys are of course, melodic instruments, but, the percussive elements to it can really make or break the part that you're laying down, and it's half the battle in adding the character and, the different things like that when playing keys. And just as a keys player in general, I think that's something that's pretty important to me. It's just laying down good keys parts. So all together, it sounds like this. Thank you to Candy Beats and Dot's team, for putting on these battles in the first place. It's a really cool thing that they're doing for the community and for just music in general. Every week it's like we're discovering all these new and talented producers and artists and things like that. And to give them shine like that, it's really cool to see, especially during like quarantine and all that stuff. I don't really do YouTube that much, so if you want to support me, follow me on IG and Twitter. I'm more active on there anyways. Hit me up in the Discord for anything, really. I might do Twitch. Been thinking about it. Been having a lot of people ask me about it. So it might be something that I'll do in the future. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate y'all.